Hi guys, welcome to your intuitive read. I'm your host, Meek the Minx. Today, we're going to go over some downloads I had this morning, as well do some tarot. First things first, I want to say that I know there's a lot of readers out there. There's a lot of people who share different consciousness out here on this space. One download I did have this morning was that you can only read from your highest frequency you embody. When you compromise your gut, you compromise your crown. When you compromise your gut, you compromise your crown. Okay, because your heart, mind, and gut work in as one unit, right? So it's only as strong as your weakest unit. Okay, so if the things that you're intaking in your gut is compromise, it can compromise your thought processes and which frequencies that you actually follow. Okay, so that is the reason why you tried to focus your lifestyle on a more healthy lifestyle. Like I said, the desires of your heart will always come through. So if that's not a desire for you to be healthy, you will continue to trap, I call it trap low, but you will literally be a vibrational match to whatever it is that you're inputting in yourself. Okay, and this is why on this channel we also promote you having strong heart chakras, strong love frequency, and healing past trauma so that you can ascend and experience better things in your life. Okay, because you can't help the life in which you were born into. You can't help your bloodline. You can't help those things, but you can transmute those things. You can alchemize those things. And so in this space, we are really big on moving forward and being present. Okay. I also wrote this morning, make connections where you can to help the ones you love. Make connections where you can to help the ones you love. Okay. And if you're looking at my look today, it's because it was peacock inspired. Last night I had a little trip down memory lane, and so it was giving me peacock energy. And so I used what I had to kind of do a little peacock look, I guess, I suppose. Okay. Okay, another big thing is humility is required for learning. Now, I understand that this conversation keeps coming up about the ego. I did see Neuro actually posted something about this and a while ago, a couple years ago. This is a recycling occurrence. So let this message find you whenever time and space it finds you. But when it comes to your ego, yes, it has to do with your identity and your individuality here, right? And you should be confident in that. Okay, and so because during the process of ascension, there is a moment in time in which you're going to have to check your ego. Okay, as for you not to go down the lines or the pathways of egomania, which I did a reading on. If you go on my page and you type in egomania, go look at that video. For you to grow and to ascend, there must be an energy of humility because you don't know what you don't know. Okay, and there are many divine teachers in this world, many divine spirits that are walking in human vessels that you can learn from. But that requires a degree of humility to understand that you don't know everything and that you're still progressing. As long as you're breathing life into your lungs, okay, you are here to learn. Okay, that is really what this whole thing is about. Okay, and certain parasites delay those lessons. Okay, but you're going to learn when it's time to learn. Okay, so just be gentle with yourself. The point is that it's not a point of killing the ego. It's about understanding the identity of self and then also being humble enough to learn something new. Okay, but the contents and the desires of your heart will always, always, always shine through. Okay. Yes. And moving on. Once you experience a lesson, you move on, you graduate, okay, you go into higher levels of thinking, higher level frequency rooms, higher level frequency tables that you get to sit at, and not every room is meant for you, okay? Please understand that. I know yesterday I did a reading and it centered along the lines of rejection. You have to remember vibrational match is key throughout everything. Okay, so one of the downloads also was to be good stewards of your flesh. Okay, because if you're taking care of this body, you can then take care of bodies outside of this body. Okay, your spiritual body, your physical body, which would be your home, the place of your dwelling. Okay, provide good, and then you'll be able to provide good care onto others and create high vibrational creations. Okay, got it? Got it? This is supposed to be part of the peacock thing. Yeah. Okay. Let me take a sip of my tea, my high frequency tea. Okay. Another big thing about the humility thing. Now, I know when you look at you know, when you look at the Hollywood type of environment, you notice that there's always a degree of humiliation, right? It goes back to that again, that humility thing, right? Standing firm in who you are is a strength. It brings forth a light within yourself and you're confident in that being, right? Regardless of what anyone says. Okay, so you get little practices of that when you're in your family unit, then when you're in a school environment, in the public, right? You get a deal of that when you go into your work environment. How strong can you be who you are and your own individual principles, but also respect the principalities of others, right? Because as soon as you leave your vessel, you enter another boundary. Okay, so with that being said, this is where you get this idea of humiliation, right? When you are able to stand confident in who you are, regardless of who is opposing to you, right? That brings forth a strength. It brings forth a confidence. It brings forth truth, right? On this page, we are speaking truth and we deliver it with the entity and the energy of love. Okay, love for oneself is very important for you to even to be able to fathom giving love onto others. Okay, so humility. All right, so we know we kind of demonize this thing, especially when it goes into Hollywood, and so they have to go to a great deal of humiliation. The whole matter of that is that there isn't anything as bad publicity, right? As long as someone's giving energy towards something, they can alchemize it. Okay, that is where their power comes from. Okay, so I know we demonize this energy of Hollywood, but you have to look at it through the eyes of the higher level frequencies. Okay, everyone just creates the world in which they want to create and live in. Okay, you need to call back your energy and create the world that you want to create, because regardless of what so and so is doing in the public eye, you're still going to have to come back to your reality. Okay, and remember, you can only read from the highest frequency you embody. So a lot of people say trust your gut, trust your gut, trust your gut, but what's inside your gut? A lot of guts have parasites. A lot of guts and vessels contain the addiction frequency. It's already low frequency. It's a low frequency, so you can only attract what you are. You will continue to trap low. Okay, clean your gut, you clean your crown. Okay, and there's various levels, right? You're not going to be the same way because your internal biome, right, or the biological makeup of your gut, which bacteria is there, which parasitic sites are there, it's going to dictate, right, what you do. But remember, even when you are in a low vibration in the gut, you still have your heart. Okay, so those of us that dwell in our heart space, okay, we're able to find the love and find the things that's causing more harm, and then transmute it and make the proper actions in order to change it. Okay, that's why it's not just a mental, or should I say third eye thing, and a heart thing. The gut, it literally represents the physical actions taking place. Okay, now if your gut is overridden with a lot of parasites, it's going to be harder for you to make the action because it's already physical, right? And so this is why sometimes people with addictive frequencies, they can't help it. They believe that they can't help it because their heart, their willpower is not strong enough. Their mind is not strong enough because they've repeated the cycle so much that they're just like, I can't stop. But you can. You can in all actualities. You just have to find the strength within your heart, your will. You have to open up the other gates, okay? And then bring what's in spiritual into physical. So every day that you wake up, you make a choice. You make a decision on what things you want to give energy to. Okay. I'm coming from a frequency that I've overcome would be lust. I've overcame drama energy. That one was hard because that's everywhere, right? And not only that, it has to do with storytelling, right? Um, Everyone loves a good story, and honestly, we're all just walking, talking stories. Okay, we are the living word. We are the living word. Okay, and there's nothing really new under the sun. So when you meet people, you kind of figure out which roles you're playing in their life. You also understand what role you're playing in your own life, your own storyline that you're progressing, because you create that. You create that. Okay, moving forward and be present. All right, so that was a lot of things that I just wanted to get off into the ether. So for whomever needs to hear it, they can hear it. My eyes jumping. Someone's, if you know what that means, you know what that means. Okay. Well, let's get into the tarot. I'm just keep seeing humility is required for learning. Dedicate your life to learning, and you'll keep on ascending. Okay. Dedicate your life to learning, and you'll keep on ascending. Okay. Ishagbe, Ishaileiwa, Irikokike, Amajade, Ewekiko, Lasioko, Atiada, Goipeo, Goipeo, Ishagbe, Ishaileiwa, Emnikokike, Amajade, Iwekiko, Lasioko, Atiada, Goipeo, Goipeo. I think I messed up some of the words, but that has been stuck in my head for the past 3 weeks. But I've been learning that song periodically throughout the couple years, right? I listen to Yoruba lessons, learning on YouTube, and so that is one of the songs that stuck with me, and it has to do with knowing that you can go forth and you can study, but you always must learn how to farm. You must always know how to till the land. Okay, you're always going to require, or else you're going to be imbalanced. You can't just sink yourself into technology, sink yourself into school, and forget the cultivation of farming on your homeland. Okay, this is something that's very important. So you must also call your energy back and balance it. Okay, provide the nourishment back to the land. It's very, very important. Okay, it's how you secure future generations, and then the knowledge. If you're not, honestly, if you're enjoying your earthly experience, you're going to want to share it throughout their bloodline as well. Okay. I also want to put a plug in for those of you that are curse breakers. Okay, now this thing sounds so good to say, right? You're a chosen one and all this stuff. Now that comes with a great deal of responsibility in for you to observing certain things in your bloodline that needs to change in order for high vibration for you to ascend the bloodline. Okay, when you're able to ascend the bloodline, you get gifts. Okay, because the earth is never going to go away. That's one thing. All right. And a lot of people are focusing their attention into the stars, but it's moving in unison. Okay. You're not going to move to Mars. The earth is where you belong. Okay. Now, take what's within resonance, because I know some people might hear this and something instinctual like this. I don't belong here. That's fine. Go to where you need to go to. I'm talking to my earth angels. Okay. Call back my energy. Okay. So with that being said, you still have to cultivate, if you're create the life that you want to see here, right? That's your power here as an earth angel. And then you'll be able to foster an environment that's healthy and a way forward for your creations to come forth. Okay. And the creations of your loved ones. Okay. So yeah, is there like an ego thing that's attached to being chosen and curse breakers and blah, 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 blah? Yes, that means you recognize certain things in your bloodline. You learned, you didn't condemn, you didn't judge anyone, but you learned and then you altered your life accordingly to carry on the bloodline. Okay. That requires a great deal of humility. It requires a great deal of accountability, ownership. That is the God gene. Okay. When you stop blaming others and start realizing that they had to live in order for you to see the pitfalls, right? Because you can't judge people based off their generation they were born in. Each generation have their own trials and tribulations in order to ascend their own particular bloodline. Okay? And it's not really not just your bloodline. You can actually, when you go forth and you go into the public, you're going to be able to see certain things that you don't want to carry on. All right. So, for example, this is just an example. But if you know that your mom was heavily in the streets, or your father was addicted to some kind of narcotic or alcohol or whatever the case may be, and you saw how his life turned out and you did not like it, you don't condemn them, right? You heal, and then you become a steward of your own vessel. You become the Lord of your own vessel. And then you're able to make certain life choices in order to ascend that curse, right? Because everything is passed down. The sins of the father passed down to the children. It's the same kind of concept across all the board. You understand what that means. It means that there's certain things that were coping mechanisms for the generation before that you don't have to carry on. Okay. Now, with that being said, I do believe that there are portals that you open up with certain drinks that you intake, certain I would say narcotics, but it's like even herbal medicines, right? That you open different portals within your vessel. Okay. And it could be amount of ceremony. So it's not really me condemning these things, right? It's just knowing that you can't overdo it. Everything must be in a balance. Okay, this is why you have certain festivals that celebrate certain things, and maybe you and your family line, you can pay homage to an elder, someone who have passed before you, by taking tobacco smoke, or drinking a certain alcohol that honors them because they love that, or that was what their curse was. Okay, that they did not transcend. Okay, so you can maybe take a drink for that person in order for that spirit to come into your vessel for that night to experience what it's like in that particular moment in time. Okay, humility is required for learning. So if you didn't understand what I'm saying, you'll understand what I'm saying in due time. Okay, I just also want to be mindful that everything that I say here is from my own collective consciousness, from things that I've observed, the things that I'm documenting, that I'm just sharing with you. Okay. So let's get into the tarot. Today we're going to be using Divinations, the Energy Readers Oracle deck. Hit me up if you'd like to purchase. All right, so we did cut and we did see patience. Okay. You can only read from the highest frequency you embody. You can only read from the highest frequency you embody. Okay. Thank you, God, creator of all things known and unknown. Please guide my vessel, deliver this message on the highest positive frequency for the divine alignment for all those involved. Divine wisdom, power, and glory, honor all those who've come before me. Okay, so that's also a plug for if you're going to a reader. Just make sure that you're paying attention, to their vibrational frequency. Now, their frequency may be higher than yours currently. That's the reason why you're contacting them. But it really doesn't make sense if you're on the same level of that reader. It would not make sense, okay, because you could read on that frequency. You kind of want someone who has a higher level perspective in order to help you gain sight, okay, and then you have to maintain that sight, okay. This is why I also don't promote repeatedly going to one reader, because everyone needs a break and everyone needs to also ascend on their own timeline in order to ascend what they need to ascend and work out on their soul journey. Okay. All right. So first up, we have procrastination. Are you maximizing your energy and opportunities at this time? Something requires your attention, and yet you cannot seem to find the time to get the job done. The spell is caused by anxiety and avoidance. Once the task is completed, you will be relieved and new opportunities will arise. To break the spell of procrastination, you can say, I have everything I need to face all challenges. I enjoy the process of creating. Accomplishing my goals aligns me with my best possible timeline. Accomplishing my goals aligns me with my best possible timeline. Accomplishing my goals, okay, aligns me with my best possible timeline. Okay, so that goes back to the action part, okay? So whatever it is that you, just be mindful of where you're delaying your energy, okay? So check your frequency, check your bloodline for any curses that you're actually embodying at this moment in time, whether it be the frequency of addiction, frequency of greed, frequency of wrath, okay, all the lower level energies that I've also Okay, and also you tend to gravitate toward readers who have already found the way out of the lower level frequencies, out of love, of course, the lower level frequencies that you're struggling with. Okay, so if you're struggling with wrath, lust, um, greed, sloth, which is like the laziness that also has procrastination. Just check yourself, because what happens is you become a vibrational match to things that delay your progress. Okay, procrastination is bound to be there. Okay, it's bound to come up. Okay, you'll be revealed, you'll be relieved, and new opportunities will arise. So whatever it is right now in this moment, as you're hearing my voice, you may be thinking about a certain task in your head that you should be completing. Okay. I'm hearing move forward, be present again. You should be able to pinpoint that and just get it done. Okay. So we also have do not take any action as time more information will be revealed. I need to get clarification because we were just talking about procrastination. Okay, so right now what I'm hearing is to sit down and think about whatever the things that's challenging to you right now. Do not avoid it. Lean into the uncomfortability of whatever things proposing as a challenge, whether it be you being seen in the public eye, whether it be you, I'm seeing public speaking. I also see boundaries, whether it be you being able to set boundaries. Okay. Yeah, I just got it. Okay. So what they're saying is to be patient, but don't do nothing. I know it sounds like I'm saying two different things, right? But there's a difference between being patient and also waiting. Okay. Waiting, it has the energy of you not doing anything, which causes procrastination. There's other tasks that you've been avoiding that you were required to complete in order for this new information to come through. Okay, so this is what they're talking about. New opportunities will arise. Is that, okay, think about when you wake up in the morning, there's certain tasks that you must get done on that day that you've already set intention, or your higher self has already set intentions for you to do. Okay, once you get those tasks completed, new things come in, new opportunities arise, more alignment with what you're supposed to be doing at a particular state and time. Okay. So make sure you're maximizing your energy. Now, if you're using that energy in order to go into delayed things, right? Too much, when I talk about vices, like the things in your bloodline that is cursing you to delay your progress as a soul being, that is where you need to start calling back your energy from. Okay? So there's a major storyline, things that keep you on your the major storyline, kind of like the main story of your life. And then there's like these little side quests. Okay. Call back your energy from the side quests right now. Get the little, like the task done that's contributing to your main storyline. Okay. I have everything I need to face all challenges. I have everything I need to face all challenges. All right. So just look at the things that you currently have, and look at the things you currently have and utilize those things to complete the tasks that you can in whatever space and time. Okay. We also have a spellcaster card, which says my trinity is intact and I am whole. And then we also have Aries energy. You could be an Aries, or you could be, I'm getting there's Aries energy in the reading. Okay. You are all about that action. This energy is associated with getting shit done and holding no prisoners. Aries energy is very passionate and vibrant. This is the type of energy you want around for any advancement. In the positive polarity, you have the torch now, and it's time to lead the way. Aries energy comes with the responsibility of structure and boundaries. Do not get carried away by its intensity. Oh, hello. The sun is in Aries right now. So that would make sense as to why it's on the board. Okay, so you particularly might be in Aries, but Aries energy is very, very high right now. It could be your sun, moon, or rising. But I'm just reading the energy as it is. If you guys would like a personal reading for your particular energy, not a collective reading, hit me up on Instagram. Okay, so you're very passionate, very vibrant right now. Don't waste that energy with procrastination. Get the task done. Right now we're doing, okay? But do not, this is a thing they're saying, is the things that you don't have the proper resources to execute, these are the things that you're not taking action on, Okay, more things will be revealed, more things will be given to you once you take care of the things running in the background. Okay, my Trinity is intact and I am whole. Remember, mind, body, and spirit, mind, heart, and gut. Make sure you're moving in accordance with that. Okay, you must check in with your gut space, check in with your heart space, check in with your crown. Okay, every day that you wake up, try your best to do that. Okay, and if you do so, we have good fortune. On the bottom of the deck, congratulations. There's no better feeling than the chills you experience when God has blessed you. Wealth and abundance are now at your doorstep. No good deed goes without its reward, and the right currency is attracted to you now. If your palms are itching, it is time to collect the bountiful harvest of your hard work. Savor the moment and ride out the feeling of gratitude and allow it to propel you to an even brighter future. Okay, so that is the overarching for this reading right now. We're 25 minutes in, not that we're moving with time, but I'm going to take a pause right now, take a sip of my tea, and get into the actual tarot, okay? Lasioko matijada koipeo koipeo ishepe nisheilewa eriko shishe amajade ewekiko lasioko atiada koipeo koipeo nisheilewa eniko shishe amajade iwekiko lasioko atiada koipeo koipeo nisheilewa eniko shishe amajade iwekiko lasioko atiada koipeo koipeo. All right, so I think I'm losing. We'll see. Yeah. Okay, we got one. Okay, what's going on here? So we got the Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay, so you are overcoming. Okay, I understand. Hold on. All right. Oof, bro. Sometimes deciphering these messages be like on some stuff. Okay. All right. So my role right now is to tell you that the Ten of Swords, you may be experiencing a Ten of Swords situation right now. Okay. What does that mean? That means that you're getting elements of fear, elements of doubt. Right now, your hand is what we're calling in the lion's den. Okay. Meaning that you are being, it's not really a judgment, but when you go to sleep, right, it's like this is where all the thought forms, all of the negative fears, things that is causing you to doubt yourself, things that are causing you to be living in fear, right? And it could be the people that you're around. It's the energy in which you are around, okay? The circle, okay? I'm here to deliver this message onto you, okay? It's causing you to be wounded. This is why you don't need to be at certain rooms. You don't need to be around certain people. Call back your energy. I keep saying this. Call back your energy from the north, south, east, and west, from the seen and unseen. Redirect that energy to all things that feed your soul, okay? You can take that, put that in your notebook somewhere, recite that repeatedly, because right now you're probably in a situation where you are around certain energies that are not conducive to your growth. They're causing a delay. They're causing procrastination because they themselves are a vibrational match to procrastination. Okay. And that energy is kind of blocking certain opportunities because you're physically in their space. Okay. That's my words of wisdom right now. Okay. Also, right now, you are exhibiting this Aries energy. Okay. You have this leadership kind of energy. You actually are, you have the torch now. Okay. But what is also showing this torch that you have is this hermit energy. So call back your energy, get into your, I would call it isolation, okay, all in one time, is because you need to direct that energy to your progression. Okay, repeat it with me. My trinity is intact and I am whole. My trinity is intact and I am whole. Okay? My trinity is intact and I am whole. So don't let that fear of the things that's being projected, the frequency or the vibrational match of what you're leaving behind, okay, to hold you back. You are shedding and now you're going into a new life. Okay. So this is why you're required to call back your energy. Okay. This is why you need to call back your energy, because you're trying to get back into your good fortune, collect your North Star, and to follow that. Now, with this, they keep showing me all the stars, these stars, because you are backed. Okay. Let each one of these stars show you that you're not actually alone, that you actually have a quite deal of force. These are all spirits, souls. Okay. Now your star, when you look up to the sky, will shine the brightest. It will shine the brightest. Okay. And it will direct you on where to take that torch and how to guide yourself way out of that darkness. Okay. As you go along with this, every step that you take, more information will be revealed gradually. Okay. Keep coming back. I will keep doing these videos, as long, out of love, of course, in order for you to guide your way out. But this is what the message is for you right now. Okay. Now they're showing me hard work. It's time to collect the bountiful harvest of your hard work. And this has to do with not giving into temptation, not giving into the curse. Okay. Now, part of that curse could be also negative thinking. Okay. Negative thinking. Now, you want to be in your body at this time. You want to be facing your reality at this time. You don't want to get distracted or get your soul lost in some other timeline, in which you're playing a supportive character. You need to start playing the main character in your storyline. Okay. So mind your steps, because when you're changing frequency, when you're changing an energetic signature in the ether, right? The old energy signature will be there just to test you. Okay, to see if you're going to give way to the lower level entities, including wrath, including wrath. Okay, it's part of your journey. Remember to be grateful, to extend gratitude for this current situation. This gets you back into your present moment. Listen, if you're trying to call back your energy, always be grateful to where you are right now. Okay, that is a frequency through the heart that literally, it attracts more higher level frequencies to come and assist you. Okay. All right. So even though you have this torch, you do have the responsibility. Okay. Remember, Aries energy comes with the responsibility of structure and boundaries. Do not carry it away by its intensity. This is where it's easy to get back into the lower level forms, because you feel the power. Okay. Trust me. Think about the times when you go to school and let's say you have a really good fit, right? Your bloodline have done a good job in displaying how you look. You look really good, and then you have this egoic way about you, and then all of a sudden you're getting in trouble in school because your ego is getting too, you lack the humility in order to look good and also learn more things, okay, out of the energy of love. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Okay, that fire, trust me, we've all been there. You get that fire, you get that feeling of invigoration, and you don't want to get too carried away that you forget the humility part of learning lessons. Okay, I was watching this young girl who has discovered self-mastery, having mastery over oneself, not really getting validated through outside sources. And she did say this thing about how when she meets elders, how they feel like they have to humble her. No. I will say this: you can only be humble when you lose yourself. Okay, when you're seeking you can only be humbled when you are moving outside of your station. Okay. You're not always going to be on the top. Okay. Remember, this is like a climb. You climb up to certain mountains. Okay. Then you realize that that's just a lower level of a higher mountain to reach. Okay. This is in spiritual speak as well as in physicality, because everything happens in spiritual first, then you bring it down to the physical. Okay. So it's not that the elders want to humble you. You are automatically humble because you're not an elder. There's always going to be someone at the top. Okay. All right. So it's your job to cultivate yourself, have your self mastery. That's just bare minimum. Okay. So congratulations to make it on this level. The humility is understanding that you don't stay on that level. Okay. That's where the humility is. Okay. Especially if you're striving for your best possible timeline, as long as you're breathing in air into your lungs, you know that it's not over yet. Okay. So it's not our job to humble you. You will humble yourself. Once you start getting your self mastery, the more things that's unsaid is the things that's going to be humbling you. Okay? You're just in class like the rest of us. But we are grateful that we're seeing that the younger ones are getting it quicker than we did. Okay? So that's where the humility comes. When you start thinking that we are the same size, that is where you're going to be. That's when the lessons open up. The portal of the lesson opens up. Okay? That's where the portal of the lessons open up. Okay. Yes, you look at your elders and you see for yourself what are the things that you want to change. Okay. It's not your job to condemn them. They are on a totally different timeline than you. Okay. Because remember, the ones that are who you're supposed to be there to cultivate and help out of the energy of love, they're already born. They're already born. They're already on their way. Okay. And so the same elder that you're watching and judging, you're going to be in that position and they're going to be looking at you. Why didn't you da 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 da? Why didn't you do more? Why da da da? Until they get to the point of self-actualization and realize that they're also have to take ownership of their own existence and then do better. Okay? So keep that in mind. Let that be your words of wisdom. And for all who this message reaches, I wish you high vibrational creations. I wish you a bountiful harvest. You've done a lot of work spiritually, and we're here to see for you to reap that reward. Okay? Alrighty. Bye.